This is going to be the third video around this, and I kind of consider this a trilogy. This is the third of a trilogy. I had the Journey video I did earlier on in the week where I was giving it wasn't really a rant, it was just my opinion on the Journey and the fact I didn't like it because I felt like it was taken away from Pro Clubs and Career Mode. A couple of days later, the leaks come out from the beta, and shock, I was right. So I made the Go Fuck Yourself video, which was a rant. There's no real way of saying it. Everything was very raw at that point because I just found out all the information, so that was my initial reaction to it essentially, which kind of made it more truthful and more honest. That was what I think about it, and that was at a time where it annoyed me the most. I've calmed down a little bit now, obviously, and yeah, so that was a proper rant. This one's not necessarily a rant, it's more just a discussion about where we've been left as a community, the people involved, the people who loved these modes, Career Mode and Pro Clubs obviously, even Foot to a point of view, because Foot hasn't had much either, but specifically Pro Clubs and Career Mode, where this leaves us, because they've got us wrapped around their little finger, they really do, they've got us wrapped around their finger so hard to the point where there's no escape for us. I genuinely believe that. I'll go into that and why I think that later on, and ultimately we'll be answering the question that's in the title: do you buy FIFA 19? And for a lot of you right now, obviously, especially right now, it's probably a hard no. However, I'm going to talk about various things like the idea of boycotting and who's going to pick up this game and who shouldn't, who should, and what all that, and how this is proper fucked with us essentially. And essentially, I'm going to wrap this whole up. I'm going to wrap up my initial thoughts on it, my last thoughts on it, because I don't really want to talk about this again. Hopefully the next time we do a video like this, it'll be talking about the bamboozle we had at Gamescom, which is actually the first thing I want to address before we get into the main topic of this video. Like I said, just quickly, I got a comment on this on my last video, my Go Fuck Yourself video, and I've seen a couple of people on Twitter say this. These are the last people with any genuine hope. They're saying that basically any new features for Pro Clubs and Career Mode could be being held to Gamescom, and they're just keeping them out the beta. First of all, it's good props to you for having hope and faith, because the rest of us have it taken completely out of us. We're sucked out of any hope. The faith is probably blind faith, but faith nevertheless, I guess. However, I think you are wrong. I don't think that will be the case. I don't think they'll just come up at Gamescom and go, "Ha, gotcha, you've been pranked." I genuinely think that this is it. This is what Career Mode and Pro Clubs is going to be on FIFA 19. My reasoning for that is a closed beta would be so awfully pointless to run without the new features in. The reason a closed beta exists is closed for a reason, first of all. They want for people in forums to talk about the things that have been changed. They want to see if they work. And to take the new features out just makes closed beta pointless. They might as well just do an open beta, because that way they don't really rely on needing feedback. They don't need feedback anyway because the new features aren't in it. It would just be a whole pointless exercise to have the closed beta. So unless they're stupid for running the beta, I don't see how there's going to be a new features at Gamescom that are kept out. I just think that's pointless. On last year's beta, which is the only beta I've ever had, so this is the only reference point I've really got, people have been saying there's no new kits on the beta for FIFA 19, and there's no new stadiums for FIFA 19. That was the same thing for FIFA 18, but I'll tell you what was in FIFA 18. The new Career Mode feature of transfer negotiations was in FIFA 18's beta. They have the new features in the beta. It just makes no sense not to. So I think that point can really be put to bed. I like to hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I will be. It's a shame. While we're talking about the beta, the way they do the beta is stupid. That just occurred to me earlier today. Surely it'd be better to go, okay, who plays Ultimate Team the most, who plays Pro Clubs the most, who plays Career Mode the most, give them the codes, they know the mode the best, they can give the best feedback. But that's another rant for another day. We're getting to the main point of the video now. So, should you buy FIFA 19? The easy answer is no, don't buy FIFA 19. What are you doing? Why are you even considering it? God, what's wrong with you? Anyway, I'm joking, of course. And a lot of people, well, I say a lot, a few people have been suggesting that we should all boycott it. Boycotts have worked in the past. I don't know if boycott's the right word, first of all, but the best example I can think of in video games was, again, Call of Duty. When the jetpack era came along, people were getting fed up with it. Infinite Warfare came along, and people were just like, what the fuck are you doing? They've noticed that. Activision noticed that. They saw sales drop off dramatically. They saw that people were angry online. They saw the millions of dislikes on the YouTube video. And guess what? We haven't had a jetpack COD since, and we're not going to get one for a few years at least. We've had World War II. We went back to World War II, which everyone liked at the time. We've got Black Ops, who for a lot of people is the favourite COD series. And next year we might likely get a Modern Warfare game. Who doesn't like Modern Warfare? See, this turned around. A boycott worked then. However, I don't have hopes for a boycott working with EA and FIFA. My reasoning for that is, this isn't affecting everyone. Call of Duty being jetpacks affected anyone who liked zombies, not zombies, anyone who liked multiplayer, anyone who liked the campaign, anyone who just liked Call of Duty. Everyone could agree that, or most people could agree that, this isn't what they wanted. People didn't buy it. However, as much as, admittedly, Ultimate Team hasn't been that touched this year, but there are still going to be fans of Ultimate Team. There's still going to be lots of, especially children, that want to play it, and I generally think sales won't be that impacted. Yes, they might go down a lot if, say, 50% of career mode and pro clubs players don't buy it. Yes, sales will go down. They will notice that, but microtransactions are king these days in video games. They are king, and there is no way that this would impact EA that much at all. I don't think they'd care, and to be honest, I even have a sneaky suspicion that if we were to stop buying the game, and they noticed that career mode and pro clubs players would stop buying the game, and that would just make the ratio of FIFA players that are playing Ultimate Team higher. There'd be less people in career mode and pro clubs. There'd be lots more people on Ultimate Team. The ratios of FIFA players will be higher on Ultimate Team, and that would just give them an excuse to cut the modes. I genuinely feel like they'd just see, oh, less people are playing that. It could be because they're not buying the game, but we'll just cut the modes instead. I genuinely feel like they'd do that. So I just don't think a boycott will work in the long run. I genuinely don't. However, the question of don't buy the game, for most of you I'd say no. Especially if you're casual, especially if you just play career mode and pro clubs. I'd say no. However, I know people are going to be like, you're probably going to buy the game, you hypocrite. What's that all about? And I will explain that now. At this point, yes, I'll probably still buy FIFA 19. For one thing, again, I mentioned this in one of my previous videos as well, career mode and pro clubs players have been incredibly lenient. And I feel like I can extend for one last year of butt fucking before I lose my shit, essentially, and I give up. I said in my last video, FIFA 20 is probably going to be the cut-off point for me. If nothing changes on FIFA 20, I'm probably going to be done with it. However, there is a reason why. I kind of feel like I just have to get FIFA 19. Now, as you might notice, this YouTube channel isn't massive. That's an understatement, frankly. It's got, 31 subscribers at the time of recording this? I doubt that would change by the time this goes up, to be honest. And I only started it a few months ago, or 6 months ago, something like that. And the Sunderland career mode that I've done, where I put them in League 1, I don't want to look like I'm plugging, but I'm kind of plugging. My rebuilding Sunderland career mode in League 1 is generally the most fun I've had on FIFA for a few years. That not just the career mode itself, but the fact I get to upload it to YouTube. And yes, it may at this moment in time only be averaging like around 20 views, but that's still 20 people, and that's generally really cool. That's really cool to me. I like the fact a couple of people comment occasionally. Owen, if you're listening, shout out. I generally love that, and it makes me happy to play the game. Even now in August, it makes me want to play FIFA 18, which generally with FIFA by this point, done. Completely done. So I feel like if I don't get FIFA 19, I can't continue this on. And this is kind of, for shit like this, when I started my channel, I didn't want to particularly set myself to one game. I still don't. And my reasoning was, I felt like FIFA career mode would be the easiest place to go. However, I was always a bit aware of EA being bastards, and I didn't want to try and push for a career mode channel, a career mode only channel, only to be fucked over like this. And I am going to talk about bigger YouTubers who are career mode only in a bit, because I feel like they're fucked the most in terms of buying the game. And I still don't want to. Like I said, I still don't want to, and I'm uploading Call of Duty at the moment. Maybe not many people watch it, but I'm uploading it. H1Z1's featured in the past and will feature again in the future. Fortnite for a little bit, although Fortnite's dead for me now. So I just feel like FIFA 18 was the first game that got me, even though it's a small audience, it got me an audience. And I'm too happy with that to not want to buy FIFA 19, so I think I will end up buying it. Like I say, the people that I feel most sorry for in terms of having this question is the bigger YouTubers, the people with thousands of subscribers. There's some people that this is their livelihood, this is their job. Uploading career mode content is their job. The more career mode dies, the harder it's going to become for them, and the more worried they're going to be. EA don't think about things like this. For some people, it's their livelihood, and they're probably sat at home thinking, I don't want to buy this game. I don't want to buy FIFA 19. It's a rip-off. They're ripping me off. They grab my balls by the horns, and they are ripping me to shreds. But it's, at the same time, where can you go? What can you do? You can try and change your channel to something else. Football Manager is probably a good cop out. I say cop out, it's a better game. But it's a difficult situation for you people. Because you're like, okay, I don't want to buy the game because this is obviously shit, but I have to. And yeah, it's the whole point of this video was just that, rather depressingly, to say we're screwed. As a community, we're backed into a corner. We have nowhere to go. We cannot buy the game, they won't care. We can buy the game, they won't learn. That's how I feel. I feel like we are backed into a corner and we've just got to go, okay, yep, we're fucked. But like I said, this is going to be the last video I make on this topic, unless EA go and do something fucking stupid again. Hopefully my next video like this will be Gamescom, where they've bamboozled us all and there's new things about, and I can take these videos down, because I did say I would. But I doubt it. Anyway, talking about my, I suppose at this point I didn't do this in the last video, I might as well plug my channel a little bit. Be sure to leave a like if you agreed with any of the points I made. It would mean a lot, I suppose. I don't like to make these videos particularly. They make good views though. But yeah, anyway, be sure to subscribe for more. FIFA will obviously be a part of the channel. There'll be Call of Duty, there'll be H1Z1. Dead by Daylight is a game I just downloaded. I want to try that out. So if any of those take your fancy, if any video game takes your fancy essentially, why not subscribe? Hit that red button. It would mean a lot, it really would. I'm happy that I'm at 30, to be honest. I'm over 30 subscribers, that's quite nice. So if you're new around here, be sure to join the club, why not? And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a future video. Goodbye.